Welcome, everyone. This is Greg Fallon on hand with Nick Darling at my side to bring you some exciting Week 6 MLU action. We have the Philadelphia Spinners visiting the DC Current today here in Blazer Stadium in Silver Spring, Maryland. Nick, DC and Philly come in somewhat desperate situations in each case. Philadelphia, with a 4-game losing streak, started the season strong. They need to get themselves right. Got their butts handed to them yesterday by Boston. And DC, with just one win on the season, facing potential playoff elimination.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stake for both these teams here today, Greg. We got to see, Philadelphia wants to see if they can break this slide they've been in. Once you get down 4 games into a losing streak, it just gets harder and harder to break the sort of mental block there is between you and a win. And then, of course, we have the DC team on the ropes. They have to win this game. They have to win the rest of their games, more or less, to have a shot at making the playoffs and playing what is, pretty much assuredly a very, very strong Boston Whitecaps team for the opportunity to go to the first MLU championship.
Both teams somewhat fortunate that the mental edge is sort of a moot point in this game, as both teams, both struggling, not playing well. Mentally, this is a tough game for both sides.
Yeah, I mean, they're sort of coming at it from a very even standpoint, I think, in a lot of ways. Obviously, Philly, perhaps at a slight disadvantage coming off of a tough game yesterday against Boston, where they lost pretty badly, and then having to take a bus trip down here today to play this game. But they've had plenty of time to warm up, and they have a couple players back that they were missing yesterday, including most significantly Hironet is back, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is Art Shull back today?
Art Shull is not in the lineup today for the Spinners.
So they're still missing Art Shull, which will hurt them against a tall, fast, athletic DC team. But as long as they do what they do best and keep the game small, they'll have a good shot.
And you mentioned Hironet. He is key to this team. He is the linchpin of their offense. And similarly, on the other side, we see number 99, Alan Kolek, also the key cog in the DC Current offense. Both up in the leaderboard in completion percentage, both touch the disc a ton on offense. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, Hironet has the most touches on the Spinners team, 223, I believe. So you see somebody that a lot of their disc movement is going through. The Philadelphia team tends to run sort of a weave type offense with their 3 handlers, only bringing the downfield players into play once they've managed to break down the defense a little bit. So those handlers get a lot of touches on the disc. They also account for a lot of their turnovers, though, so it's going to be important that they stay mentally strong and do a lot better job catching the disc than we saw them do yesterday.
All right, we've got both teams on the line now. DC going to pull right to left to the Spinners, receiving in their blue kit, DC in black.
Yeah, and look for DC to come out big here. We saw it when they came up to Philadelphia and handed the Spinners their first loss of the season, that they came out with a lot of hucks to start, a lot of long, deep throws, and then toward the second half, clamped it down and played a bit more conservatively, which seemed to really work for them. We'll see if we can see the same sort of thing here from them today.
Absolutely. Let's see, we've got out there for the Spinners, looks like we see Hironet, Katzenbach, Jonah Wish. Looks like David Baer is out there along with Mike Baer, Stephen Thor, and Michael Panna to round out the 7. Changing their offensive lines up a little bit here with both Bears, who are neither of them back in the handle position. Now we see Dave Baer, number 20, with the disc, looking for Thor deep, but he's not open. Over to Katzenbach. Katzenbach looking for Baer going up the line. That's Mike Baer, number 28. Fakes. Back around to Katzenbach. That hangs up just long enough. As you can see, the 42-year-old legs of Trey Katzenbach doing him well right there. Dave Baer puts it up for Stephen Thor. And he gets it with Cranston closing. Finds Panna behind. Now this is where they have to be patient.
Yeah, we saw too many times them get to this point and turn it over yesterday.
Wish looking for Katzenbach in the... Oh, no, he's looking all dump right now. Oh, and he finds Katzenbach going up the line for the first score. Nifty play by Jonah Wish. Spinners set to pull now, got their defensive line out. Another key player back for them this weekend, Matt Gallen, number 79, with the disc set to pull. He has some monster throws, Nick.
Very strong puller. We'll see here that he's going to put this all the way down the field.
And it's going to hang out there. That's so key for the Spinners defense, but they don't appear to be in much of a rush to get down there right now. And there's Cole, like we see with the disc in the middle of the field. He is the key to their offense. Everything runs through him. Looks like a zone defense, a little three-man cup. Trying to force some errant throws from this DC team that likes to put it up big.
Yeah, I think you're going to see them try to use zone, particularly when they come down in the pull, maybe transitioning to man later on to break up the DC team's pull play. So DC is going to look to attack and strike quickly, and the zone can take them out of that play that they're trying to set up.
There's Bellinger, who works with Kolek on this line very well, and another very good handler, Calvin Ong, over there. Looks Keegan. Keegan doesn't really have anything. He's looking around. That stall count's getting high. He puts up the scuba to Bellinger. Bellinger finds Keegan again. To Kolek. Kolek looking around. Oh, that's a dangerous throw to Ong across the field.
Maybe dangerous from anyone but Kolek.
Yeah. He's got all the throws, that's for sure. And that lefty look changes things a little bit. Keegan in the corner of the end zone. They have not gained a single yard yet. This Spinners Cup doing exactly what I think they want to do, making them throw a lot of swing passes, something that they don't do a ton of.
At the same time, I'm impressed with the patience of the DC team. They seem content to just run these defenders back and forth across the field for right now and wait for their opening to appear.
Well, they've had a long time to think about their last loss up in New York, where they really just, that hucking game got them in trouble. They couldn't complete any, and New York just took advantage and took care of the disc. Here's Kolek again. To Bellinger in the middle of the field, swings it all the way across to Ong. Wodach looking for it, but Matt Gowan is shutting him down over there.
Wodach, always a dangerous.
Oh, there's Bobby Gordon slips by Chow. You're not going to hear about that a lot. Over to Kolek.
Yeah, as we can see, they've transitioned to more of a man-to-man defense now.
Yes, it looks like they wanted to run a zone about to midfield, and now DC, looking like the DC we're used to seeing. Quick throws all over the place. Kolek looks behind. That's Bellinger. Oh, a nifty little throw to Ong. To Bellinger again to Kolek, and he looks like he's got a couple guys who want it, and none of them going to get it. Gallen sort of playing a little poach D out there. He's got to catch up or he's going to get burned. And oh, it's Ong beating Chow for the goal. That handler line works very well. The Bellinger-Ong-Kolek combination is potent for this DC team.
Yeah, you can see that DC was quick to jump on that transition from zone to man and come after the Philadelphia defense as they made that change. A lot of yardage gain in a very short amount of time.
And you got to be impressed with the handler play from DC on that point. I was talking to General Manager Dusty Rhodes a couple of weeks ago, and he was telling me that a lot of these handlers that they have were guys that they considered cutters, and they are not playing like it. These guys are really handling the disc very well.
Yeah, they definitely know their way around the disc, and the confidence level there that we saw against that zone, being able to move it back and forth across the field, take their time, was definitely impressive.
Nice pull from 22 Brian Marshall, who's a defensive stud for DC. There's David Bear. There's Hiernett. Looking for, he's got Murray underneath, but he's not gonna test it. There's Pana. Captain to captain connection there. 3 of the Spinner 4 captains are on the field right now on this offensive line. Shows you just how serious Coach Billy Maroon is about getting this game. Look at that. That's a really impressive play by David Bear, who's having himself quite a year.
A brave play, I would say.
Oh, yes. Kind of got put into that position with the throw. But he's a gamer out there. See him checking his ankles now. As we have a foul call, Pana's going to get 10 yards.
Well, marking foul moves the disc up 10 yards. Of course, every infraction in the MLU save.
That's a
big turn.
That was a nifty little throw, just a little bit. Looks like it took Hiernett by surprise. Wasn't quite ready for that angle. Now we're going to see the DC defensive line try to get that all-important break. There's one of your favorites, I know, Ryan Todd picking up the disc.
Ryan Todd, a very difficult man to cover, a great guy to have on the field when you get these turns.
Looks like Neely going up the line, covered well by David Bear. And there's Pana getting it right back on the errant throw to Francisco Hizera. Spinner offense gets another shot at this. You know, their MO this year has been to try to take care of the disc.
Oh, we have a stall
Is it a
call
stall?
on Hiernett.
Uncharacteristic play from Nick Hiernett. That's exactly what they can't do. I was about to say how they've been playing a possession game, and you can't have easy turns like that when you play possession ultimate. Ryan Todd with the disc in the middle of the field, guarded by Pana. Disc is up to Cranston. Cranston marked by Murray. Nifty break to Bear, all the way across the field to Ryan Todd. Todd puts it up for Marshall. Is he going to get there? Oh, just past the outstretched hand to Brian Marshall.
Trying to both lay out and toe the line at the same time and just couldn't put all the pieces together over there in the corner.
That's just a very, very difficult catch for him to make, and valiant effort to get even that close. Here's Hironet hoping to redeem himself after the stall. Katzenbach clearing out. He's looking for a dump, but it's getting crowded back there. Over to Pana. Pana finds Murray. Murray's a huge player for this team. He needs to be involved if they're going to be successful.
Yeah, when Philadelphia plays well, Murray plays well.
We got a huck up to Steven Thor. That looks like it's going to be too long. Possibly a miscommunication there. It didn't look like Thor was ready for it.
It definitely didn't seem like he could find it, looking back over his shoulder at that disc.
Sun is a little difficult for these players out here today. There's a swing from, that was Cantor to your man Ryan Todd. Todd finds Cranston again. Cranston to Hazara. Hazara to Todd. Todd over to, that's Rob Dulaban, I believe. Oh no, that's number 91. There's Hazara. Looks like he maybe bought himself an extra yard on that.
Snuck up a little bit there. A little gamesmanship.
Oh, a nifty throw from Marshall. Cantor pursued by Murray, and is he going to have enough room? The ref says he's in. What a play by Dan Cantor.
What a catch by Cantor, towing that back line.
Spinners have Harrison Tregoob and Michael Zargum out on the offensive line here, looking to get things right. That was a long point for their offense. Jonah Wish still out there, I believe.
Well, you'd expect the 18-year-old to be able to go a couple points in a row.
We've got David Bear hanging around out there. Seeing Leon Chow, usually a defensive player, getting himself on here. Kurt Henning out there, and Kyle Salasco. It looks like DC's keeping largely the same line, although I see Eric Salmi out there and Calvin Ong. I believe that's Matt Gordon. Number 55, Delrico Johnson, who we remember had a huge Dion Katzen back in week 1.
One of my favorites.
Zargum looking across the field. Oh, what a play by Ong.
Oh, that's a huge D from Ong. He read that cut all the way through.
Ill-advised throw to Tregoob. That was a tough one to fit in there.
Yeah, it looked like they just got a little bit lazy on the swing throw. Left it up there for the D.
And Ong wisely takes a timeout. Breaks are hard to come by in this league, and you gotta cherish your opportunities to get them, and you gotta not give them up.
And this DC team is showing their cherishing of that opportunity through that timeout call. Did they make any personnel changes?
They did. It seems they've subbed out what looks like almost their entire line. Actually, it is their entire line. I thought they might leave Ong on, but they have not. And the Spinners have put on their normal defensive line. We see Nick Perifico guarding Sean Keegan over there. That's a matchup to watch. Oh, and he might get one. Oh, what a bid by Perifico. But Keegan comes down with it. Over to McComb. Oh, what a bid by Patrick Lindsay.
Oh, that was a dangerous looking play right there, wasn't it?
Oh, that's great defense by Philadelphia, forcing 3 very difficult throws, and you get a turn. And they need that.
There's something about coming out of a timeout. I think we've seen it a lot this year. Teams take a timeout, get a little
there's Gallon.
Space. And
Gallon puts it up. He's got 2 spinners, and that's Matt Paparone bringing it down. Huge goal for the Spinners to tie it back up at 2. We've got another low-scoring first quarter here. 2:07 left in the first quarter in DC, and score is just 2-2. Doesn't seem like too many turns. Seems like a lot of possession, a lot of dumps, a lot of swings. Both teams taking their time.
Well, we definitely have a little bit of a breeze down here today, and that's affecting the throws somewhat. Players are being probably a little bit more conservative, opting to move the disc.
And that makes Gallon's pulls, and also on the DC side, Markham Schaffner, if we get to see him today, just so much more impressive with the way the wind is out there. Both of those guys can really, really rip it. Kolick bringing the disc. We see Kevin Moldenhauer out on the field for the first time today.
Kevin, the player coach for this DC current team. a great player. Actually, just had his second kid this week. I
And
believe.
congratulations to him from everyone at the MLU. Here we have Kolek with the disc in the middle again. Over to Ong. Ong back to Kolek. Kolek guarded by Patrick Lindsay. Clearly an effort by Coach Billy Maroon to get a long, big defender on the quick and deadly DC handler. There's Dulaban. Dulaban up to Bellinger. Oh, it sails a little bit high.
There we're seeing that wind come into play a little bit. It's not a strong wind, and these players certainly can throw confidently in it, but every now and then you're going to get that little bounce.
Oh, it looks like Gallen's going to get a delay a game call. Or?
I think we have a downfield pick call on that. We had a player come out, and his defender got run, I think inadvertently, into another
Gallen
defender.
has Matheson, but he doesn't see him. Oh, Mike Bear. Difficult drop.
That's the kind of turnovers we saw from Philadelphia yesterday against Boston, and it's the kind I know they were hoping to clean up today.
No.
I'm going to be disappointed in that.
Kolek with Paparone guarding him. Up to Keegan. Keegan looking for Kolek again. He's got him. Kolek wants something. He's calling out to his cutters to get him. Somebody needs to move. We're going to get a call. Not sure what the call was, Nick. Did you?
I think what we have is another pick call there.
Pick,
from what I
actual
can
pick
tell.
on DC. The fans here not too pleased with that call. Kolek puts one out to Ong. Oh, and the recovery not there from Justin Carter. Rob Dulaban scores for DC. 49 seconds left in the first quarter. 3-2 current. Now we see that DC defense with a chance to get back on the field. There's Schaffner, the DC Matt Gallen. Nice, a little bit of a short pull from him, but that's got to have something to do with the wind. Panna to Hieranet. Hieranet breaks to Bear. There's David Bear having quite a good season. He puts it up to Katzenbach. That's hanging a little bit. Katzenbach has a lot of room, but there's a lot of defenders, and he brings it down. The ageless wonder, Trey Katzenbach, brings the Spinners.
Ageless Trey Katzenbach. I like that. Yeah, he goes out there. You can tell that this is a pull play that they had set up. You can see the disc move through it, and Trey setting up that cut from the beginning. And when he turned to go out deep, I think the defender was just caught off guard. It was a nice example of how to run a pull play right there.
You know, that's to me, that kind of play is what's so amazing about Trey Katzenbach. You know, if you see him do, I saw him do some of his combine tests, and he is still a physical specimen with a huge vertical, and he doesn't need to use it as much as a lot of other players do. This is Wodash.
Oh, nice
That's
blading
a
throw
very,
there.
very good throw. Wodash centers to Bellinger. They've gained a lot of yards very fast. A different type of quick strike offense from DC than we just saw from the Spinners, and that's Ong again. Coach Billy Maroon has got to be upset with his defense. They're allowing DC to march down the field. Not one throw, but about 10 throws in about 17 seconds about. How key is it for the Spinners to get something out of this last possession? Presumably last possession.
I mean, it is a big mental edge if you can go into the quarter break even as opposed to down one. Also coming in and scoring that quick strike in 13 seconds is a definite morale boost.
What we're going to see here, Schaffner with a hanging shortish pull. About the 20-yard line on the football markings. There's Hieranet. It looks like they're trying that same pull play. That's 7 seconds. 5. Katzenbach looking up. He's got Murray and Thor. Oh, just outside the outstretched hand of Stephen Thor. That would have been a remarkable catch by Stephen Thor.
That throw was definitely coming in a little bit hot for Thor there. He got up well, but just couldn't quite get a hand on it.
Valiant effort by Stephen Thor, but Spinners go into the quarter break. Trailing 4-3 DC Current. Welcome back for the second quarter of this game. 4-3 Current. Spinners are going to pull to DC, who's receiving with their offensive line out. Spinners need to get a break here. Go with DC going upwind. This is their shot.
Yeah, this is definitely an important point just to keep this game where they want it. So a big point for Philadelphia and for DC as well. I mean, this is where you can make a real statement coming out of the quarter. If you can march this down and score right away, you set the tone for the rest of the half.
We're seeing that little cup zone again from Philadelphia. Looks like they've just transitioned to man.
Now, I think that was a smart move. It looks like they called their transition a little quicker this time, right after they had set that play. They didn't wear themselves out running back and forth, and now they're in a man-to-man defense.
Here's Dulabon looking for something. Finds Keegan. Over to Kolick. Kolick centers to Keegan again. Keegan finding McComb with a nifty inside-out break, flick break. And there's Bellinger who puts it up to Wodach. Paparone closing, but it's going to be all Jeff Wodach. Impressive effort from Matt Paparone, but not really anywhere near that disc. And DC goes up 5-3, 9:15 to go in the second quarter. Wodach seems to have recovered from a little hiccup last week in New York where he had about 60 yards to himself and just kind of muffed the catch in a series of poor plays from the DC offense, but he seems to have recovered nicely after that beautiful cut.
Yeah, certainly not going to be a habit for a player like Wodach. He's a high-quality cutter, big guy, goes up strong, good hands, and, you know, everybody has their games here and there, but...
He's about as short-handed as they come.
Indeed.
Here's Pana bringing down the pole to Hiranet. Hiranet, nifty throw over to Bear. Maybe trying for that pull play again, but no. Upline cut from Hiranet. Hiranet puts it up. Thor's got some space, but he's got two DC defenders closing. He's going to have to make a play on this. Oh, and no foul call. Looks like he got bumped. Oh, there is a foul call.
We definitely have a foul call over from the far official, and they're getting them set back up right at the goal line. So that foul on a reception is a spot foul, placing the disc at the point of the foul, or in this case, at the goal line.
You have to put this in if you're Philly. You have to be patient and use the opportunity you've just been given. Thor looking for a dump, finds Hiranet with a challenging breakthrow, and now up the line to Thor. Oh, what a grab by Stephen Thor!
Stephen Thor reaching out and snagging that difficult little throw there from Hiranet, who just overled him a bit, but Thor bailing him out.
Maybe sensing a little bit of urgency in their offense, that they need to get things going a little faster, take some of those shots when they're there. A problem for them against Boston yesterday we saw was those Boston defenders took away what Philly wants to do. They took away the in-cuts, they took away those easy up the field throws, and Philly never seemed to test them deep, so there was really no reason to guard them deep.
Yeah, we could be looking somewhat at a correction to that here tonight, in that they're definitely looking at the deep shot more than we've seen them do in the past, and I think that could serve them well. I mean, their offense, in watching them over the past few weeks, has been somewhat stagnant. Effective perhaps in the beginning, but as teams sort of start to pick up on the style and approach, the Spinners don't seem to be able to adjust. So maybe we're seeing a little bit of a change in that. It's a little late in the season, but not too late for them. So let's see how that takes effect.
4 in a row, you've got to change something, right?
You've got to change a lot of things when you lose 4 games in a row.
And that's the guy you want. You want the change to start with your captain. And that's probably what he was thinking there. There's Keegan. Well, there's Moldenhauer with an impressive little sliding catch. Oh, what a bid by Lindsay, but... Oh, he puts it up for Dulabon. Is he going to run out of room? Oh, he's going to run out of room.
Dulabon had a thought about going and trying to greatest that, jump out of bounds, catch it, and throw it back in, but I think he saw a fence looming just a little bit beyond the out-of-bounds line.
It's a little close there. I don't know if he would have even had the time to do that. That disc seemed to, just the timing of his feet and the disc didn't seem to line up. There's Mike Bear with the disc. Hits Chow on the sideline. Chow with a nice little throw to Patrick Lindsay, who we saw just have that huge layout. Got a marking foul on Moldenhauer. 10 yards for Lindsay.
Moldenhauer, known as a very physical player, not afraid to get right up in your face, especially on the mark.
A little crowded in the back there. 2 guys right where there should be. Oh! There's Bear with to Perifico. Is he going to get there, or is it going to be Ong? Oh, Ong with it!
Oh, my goodness! Ong with a huge defensive play down there in the end zone.
We keep calling his name, Nick.
I tell you what, I like that name. Ong!
I thought Perifico was going to get that. He was part of that clogging in the back where 2 guys seemed to be converging on a swing pass, and he just got himself out of there, made a nifty deep cut, and he was open, but Ong made sure that he was not open enough.
That disc just hung up there a little bit. Perifico, I thought, made a nice read on it, but yeah, Ong cleaned it up.
Impressive effort by both players. And here we see Ong, who's now guarded by Perifico. Little long mark, far away mark from Perifico. Now Bear, looks like Bear had a chance to grab that, but Looks like, is that Dulabon? I think that's Dulabon.
Excellent catch out there on the sideline by Dulabon.
McComb puts it up. Leon Chow closing on it, or Moldenhauer. Oh, what a D. Equally impressive D from the defensive ace of the Philadelphia Spinners, Leon Chow.
Yeah, he tracked that disc the whole way. Moldenhauer tried to sneak in there right at the end, but I didn't look like there was any chance he was going to get there.
Chow puts it to Lindsay. Lindsay, oh, what a D by Sean Keegan.
Goodness.
This is a defensive show being put on by both sides.
This point is defensive
nifty
highlight
throw by
reel
Ong.
written all over it.
There's Kolick. He's dangerous with the disc. Guarded by Fafari. Hammer across the field to Moldenhauer.
He makes that look so easy. It is
And
depressing for any of us who try to do that at
with
home.
the wind out there, that is a very, very difficult throw in that direction. Or any direction, for that matter. And Moldenhauer with the disc. Back to Ong, who's had his fingerprints all over this game today. Good defense by Philadelphia. Oh, but now they're going to get a unfortunate marking foul.
Yeah, they stepped up and ran the double team there, but then bailed him out of that high stall count with just a silly marking foul.
Now Ong hangs one, pick call downfield. Going to take Ong back a little bit past the 40-yard line.
Doing a little yo-yoing and yardage here. There's a travel by the receiver, apparently, was what that last call was.
Here's McComb over to Kolick.
So, of course, a travel on the thrower.
Ooh.
Nice catch there. A travel on the thrower is a turnover. A travel on the receiver is a 10-yard penalty.
That was another nifty upside-down throw from Kolick. There's to Ong again. Ong looking around. Doesn't have anything. Finds Moldenhauer.
Nice little break throw there from Ong.
Didn't look like he was going to make any throw, and then all of a sudden finds a little break. Now here's Kolick. He's got... Ong wants to get open, but Perifico's there. That's Bellinger. Oh. Probably that's going to be half the distance to the goal, and the foul on Patrick Lindsay.
Just kind of a clumsy collision there by Lindsay.
Everybody will reset now. Bellinger takes it on the goal line, actually. Looking for Kolick, and oh, Alan Kolick with the nifty little catch. Nifty throw from Ong. DC up 6-4, 4:12 left in the second quarter. There's Schaffner with a big pull, big in terms of height, not necessarily in terms of distance. Brought down by Hironet to Katzenbach. Well, Thor's got to close on that. It looked like, I think it was Matt Gordon closing on it. He puts it up to Bear. Ryan Todd on the D, but
oh my goodness gracious!
Who came up?
Wow, that was a great play by Jonathan Neely.
Neely's the one who comes down with it in that crowd. We see Philadelphia very content to take those shots today that they weren't so content to take in previous weeks, and to an extent paying for it right now.
One has to wonder, you should take those shots. I really believe they need to stretch the field. They need to do that, but is Dave Bear your best target for those sorts of deep throws? He's a great thrower, a great player. Not a lot of height there, though. And you don't see him take those deep throws.
Schaffner puts it up to Cantor. Thor's got a chance to get this one back, but we're going to have a... Oh! Good defense by Stephen Thor. He really got that D with the body, not so much with the jump.
It just found his position, stayed in it. I mean, you can't underestimate the importance of body position in this game, particularly on those deep throws.
Hironet with the disc, finding maybe, oh! A rare layout from Trey Katzenbach, and he is not able to come up with this one. Trey known more for running discs down than going horizontal, but that was an impressive bid. Does not connect, though. Schaffner with nobody on him. Looks like Katzenbach taking away the continuation throw. Now over to Neely.
Yeah, Katzenbach is not known as a powerhouse defensively on the turn, but he's a smart defender, and he makes plays like that where he'll step out and take away that throw.
Neely near the sideline making a great sliding grab, and he's going to put one way up. Ooh, the full field flick swing. Only threw it ahead about 10 to 15 yards, but he threw it about 40.
Asking a lot of his receiver there,
Yeah.
I think, if there's a way we could put it. Puts up that throw that's sort of blady, coming in really fast, and just finding a way to get yourself underneath that and catch it would have been a feat.
Looks like Coach Bill Maroon is going to take a needed timeout with 2 minutes and 2 seconds left in the second quarter. The word that best describes them this year is streaky. They have come out, and at times they play phenomenal, exciting, fast-paced, efficient ultimate, and then sometimes they just seem to, the same things that pay off for them seem to haunt them. You know, those big throws, somewhat careless handling in the backfield.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a tough game for them. They play a bit of a high-risk game, but that's, live by the sword, die by the sword.
I really shouldn't use the word careless. I should use the word more carefree. Carefree is the way I would describe the way they... Oh, what an effort from Cantor, an even better effort from Hirna, who's got Murray all alone. He tries to milk it all the way, but he's got time to find Leon Chow. That's the play you needed. That is exactly what the Spinners needed. From their captain to one of their best players to another captain. Gallen to pull. Spinners D-line looking to get a break before half. Minute and 41 seconds remaining in the first half. Trailing by one. Oh, what a dropped pull!
My goodness.
And that's Ong, who's been so good all game, and that is a killer.
That is hard to believe. He looked like he was looking up to throw before he caught that, and what a big turnover for the Spinners here at the end of the half.
Classic mistake, but it looked like, it seemed that stall count was getting high, and Gallen might bail them out, but he finds Chow with a really nice inside-out flick.
Yeah, no question about it. You got to get back on that horse. I would not be surprised if he catches this pull again.
You gotta, like you said, get right back on the horse. The best thing to do when you do something like that is just proceed with your game. Proceed with how you would normally do everything else in your game. Looks like he is going to try to catch... Yeah, he's going to hunt this one down, and good by his teammates to have the confidence in him to let him catch that hanging pull.
I tell you what, as much as you know you've caught 1,000 pulls, that's still nerve-wracking.
Keegan puts it up. 2 defenders. That's Redding. Oh, Redding and Gallen. But Bellinger finds his way between them, and the disc just sails right into him. Oh, what a hand block by Patrick Lindsay.
Beautiful block there by Lindsay. The throw was a little bit lazy, and he took advantage of it. That was Jeff Wodach being a little lazy on the throw.
Now over to Gallen. He's tracking that one down. Gallen looking upfield. He's got Redding. Redding looking to make up for a little bit of a hiccup in his defense there. Over to Mike Bear. And a timeout called by Bill Maroon. Very smart timeout with 42 seconds left. We're going to see Hiranet bring the disc back in. He's got Katzenbach and Bear behind him for his dumps. We see Jonah Wish, Mike Bear, Sean Murray, and Michael Panna downfield. For DC, we've got David Cranston, Dan Cantor, Alan Kolick, Jeff Wodach, Keegan, Marshall, and Ong. And that's killer.
Goodness.
The timeouts have not served either team very well in the first half. So we're going to get another one from the DC Current. You've got to convert on every opportunity. And here's Kolick with a great break to David Cranston. Looking for somebody by the goal line. Great defense by Dan Ferfari, and it's laid out for Cantor. Dan Cantor with the goal. 23 seconds left in the first half.
You know, when you set up a mark, the idea of that mark is to prevent throws to one side of the field. It's a big field. There's a lot of space for the cutters to go. You need to shut some of that space down at the point of the mark. And a great thrower who can render that ineffective is priceless.
This could be useful for the Spinners. An out-of-bounds pull with 23 seconds left. They're going to get to set up their entire offense and take the disc from the middle of the field. They need this point. There's enough time left on the clock. They've got enough field position. They got to get this.
I feel like we've been repeating ourselves a little bit in that they need this point line has come up a number of times, but it's so true today, isn't it? These teams
Absolutely.
are so closely matched. This game is going to be tight all the way down to the wire. You need every one of these points.
Absolutely, especially it's emphasized by how tight these two teams are in that race for second place. Oh, Panna with impressive effort by Panna to even get that disc up, but they're going to run out of time here in the first half.
Panna tries the flying, spinning, just landed flick. Not to great effect, but with time running out, it was about all he had time to try to do.
Absolutely, and a valiant effort, but that throw is not gonna get you too much. All right, welcome back for the second half of this Week 6 contest between the Philadelphia Spinners and DC Current. Nick, let's hit some second half keys as the team start getting ready to pull here.
Well, I mean, I think obviously for DC, it's keeping that pressure on. Every time their defense is coming hard and they're making those big bids, they seem to be shaking the Philadelphia offense a little bit, and that's where they get their turns and where they get their minor lead. For Philadelphia, consistency, no drops, no stupid turns. Force DC to beat you. Don't beat yourselves.
I think a big thing for them is just to stay mentally together. You're not down by a lot. You've got the disc here to get back on serve. You're not out of this. This is a very close game.
Cantor there with the big smile after the marking foul there on hearing it.
He is a very aggressive defender and a very good one at that. There's Pana looking upfield. Katzenbach going for it, but he's not going to get it. He's covered very nicely by Cranston, one of the better defenders in the Eastern Conference. There's Bear to Bear. We got looks like a pick downfield.
That's a pick call downfield. So we're going to come back 10 yards here.
Basically negating the bear-to-bear throw.
This bear squared tandem back here is pretty fantastic.
And there we see it again. Pana got Matt Gordon, that is, trailing him. Here's Wish, who he's a young kid, but he has had a fantastic season. He's had a real impact on this Spinners team. There's David Bear in the middle of the field, guarded by Todd. Looking for Pana, and that's a layout D by Matt Gordon. That's exactly what you can't have if you're Philadelphia.
Gordon coming in tight with a great D there. And that D was really caused by some great dump defense. It forced the look back upfield toward Pana.
That might have been a two-handed throw from Dan Cantor. Here's Neely. Oh, breaks to Todd. Beautiful. There's Murray on the mark. Looking for Marshall in that corner. That time he successfully toes the line. DC goes up 8-6 to start the third. Philadelphia has not been strong when giving up a turn on the offensive end. They have not been strong getting the disc back.
Yeah, I think if we were going to pick out weaknesses in the Philadelphia team at this point in the season, we would definitely see the O-line defense as something that could use some work. I think that varies from time to time depending on the personnel in the field, but it's something that I think Coach Maroon is probably focused on and thinking about quite a bit in practice, and see if they can manage to correct it by the end of the season, which is coming fast upon us.
At a certain point, you've got to think, for the most part, teams have, in Elite Ultimate for a very long time have been playing offensive and defensive lines. You got to think at some point in a game like this, Bill Maroon has to say to his team, we're going to put our best 7 out there, and we're going to see what they can do. Maybe a different type of strategy, but something that they may need right now.
I mean, in a team that prides itself on its fitness, that's something that you wouldn't be surprised to see.
There's Kurt Henning.
And we do see Murray here.
Henning puts it up. Salasco with Chip Cobb around him. Oh, looked like both players mistimed their jump there.
A lot of contact on that there, but I think the officials let the contact go because both players misread that disc.
Very strange turn of events there, and now here's Neely again, who just had that very nice break to Todd, and now we see Todd with it in the middle of the field, guarded by David Bear. Over to Hazara, who's been quiet. Up to Todd. Looks like he wants number 91, that's Boyea. Is Mike Bear going to get to... No, it's going to be a grab and a goal from Boyea. It looks like we might be starting to see some of that best 7, as we've got all 4 Spinner captains on the field for this point. And Matt Gallen.
A rare O point for Gallen, but I think they're going to be wanting to use his ability to strike deep here.
And there he is with the disc. Katzenbach going. He's going to put it. And he does. Cranston closing. Katzenbach. Classic Katzenbach. Just uses his body, and now he's going to draw a foul on David Cranston as his. But that's doesn't get any yards out of that as he's on the goal line already. But that lets his offense get set up and lets him reset that stall count, which is so important.
That's just the kind of catch we were talking about Trey making earlier.
Oh,
and
here that breaks the ankles of Dan Cantor. There's Matt Gallen to Katzenbach. Katzenbach looking for Pana, but he's not going to get him. Now he's going to get him on the dump. There's Chow. Look for Leon Chow to do something nifty here. Oh, Matt Paparone! And they're going to signal him in. That was very close to the line, but Matt Paparone brings down the beautiful and very gutsy throw from Leon Chow. 9-7 current. Spinners finally get their first point in the second half, and they needed it very badly. Now we've got a pretty stacked defensive line out there for Philadelphia. DC getting their O back on the field. We're going to see Alan Kolek for the first time in this half. And you are not seeing double. That is Bobby Gordon, twin of Matt Gordon, who just made that fantastic D a couple points ago.
We're hearing a lot of noise from the fans right now, trying to get their DC team to keep the foot on top of the Philadelphia Spinners here with their 2-point lead at this point.
Here's Ong again. Ong back to Kolek in the middle. That looked like a little bit of a dangerous throw, and a very nice throw and go from Alan Kolek, but he's not going to get the disc back off of it. There's Sean McComb. Oh, effort by Zarga, but that is up to Dulabon, and nobody is going to catch him. 10-7 DC Current. Down by 3 on the road with a crowd that is fired up. Every point becomes even more crucial than we were already talking about. You know, they were already must-haves for each team, and now they become even more important. Pana with the disc in the middle of the field. That stall count's getting high. He's going to put it up. This is David Baer. We were just talking about this last quarter, and rewarding Pana, and now he's going to find Sean Murray. That's what David Baer is more used to doing. Throwing goals.
The throws.
Yes. Beautiful throw by David Baer to get the score back to within 2, 10-8, DC 5:58 remaining in the third.
David Baer's height has not been a disadvantage to him. He's a great player, and he's able to get up for a disc as well as anyone else out there.
Here's that advantageous pull from Gallen. That is putting him. That's pinning him back. We saw DC have some trouble near the end zone earlier in this game. Not so right now. They've already moved themselves about 5 yards out, but now it looks like they're going back. Moldenhauer to Gordon. Gordon looking, faking. Looks like there's a travel call on Bobby Gordon. That's killer.
That is a huge call at this point in the game. It looks like a travel on the thrower, which is a...
Oh, no.
Oh, apparently he called the travel on the reception, not on the throw.
Seemed a little late to be called on the reception. A little bit of a late call,
and obviously some shrugs of disbelief from the Philadelphia sideline. But we're up and going again.
Here's Ong. That was very close to being a killer, that close to the end zone. Here's Keegan, who we haven't seen a lot of today. He's been pretty quiet. Perifico shutting him down quite nicely. Now across the field to Kolek for Fari on the mark. To Wodash. Oh, and Philadelphia's going to get it back. That's an uncharacteristic play from those two. Ooh, for Fari getting it right past the diving Kolek.
Kolek looking to get that mistake back right away there.
You know, that's another impressive thing about him. He plays so hard out there when they turn the disc on defense.
A fantastic defender.
Just a fantastic all-around player. I mean, what more can you say about the guy at this point? And there's a amazing, very close to an amazing catch from Skylar Redding on a ballsy throw from Matt Gallen, or discsy in this sport.
Throw. Gallen was really sitting on that flick, just looking for that throw the whole time. Finally got the cut he thought he wanted, but put it out just a little bit too far, and tricked you even, being a little premature.
A little bit. From where we're situated, that is the farthest point, and you know the depth perception seems to get a little bit distorted from here. It looked like a good, beautiful throw past the defender, but just a little bit outside of Skylar Redding's range there. Now DC pinned back again. There's Wodach. Wodach up, and Chow. Oh, it looked like Chow was going to go for it.
Is he going to get
Ong
there?
is going to bid for it, and he gets it!
Oh, what a catch from Leon Chow!
Calvin Ong that was.
Calvin Ong, sorry.
To Bobby Gordon. That's got this crowd on its feet. Wow!
Chow was the one on defense.
Chow was on the defense. Now the pull's back up. Philadelphia to receive. David Baer tracking all the way back to about 5 yards into the end zone. Finds Hiranet. DC defense still not set. Katzenbach. He has Murray underneath, but he's not going to take it. Now he's looking for a dump. Finds Hiranet. Back to Katzenbach. Mike Bear is not open. Needs to get out, and he does. And now here's Hiranet. Now finding Murray on that sideline. Pana's open deep, and he's not going to finish that cut. There's a nice sliding grab by Bear. Looking for somebody. Doesn't have a lot. Finds his brother, David Bear. And for Pana, he's got him. Now back to Mike Bear. In the middle of the field, looks like he's double-teamed. Now to Hiranet. It was an interesting position on the double team. It seemed one defender had his back to Bear and the other in a more traditional marking position.
Yeah, you sometimes see a marker will set up facing a little bit more downfield, but that was certainly unorthodox in being completely faced the other way.
A new use of the double team, I'd have to say. Here's Jonah Wish. Haven't called his name too much, and we're going to get a marking violation on, I believe, that is Eric Salmi. 10 yards for Wish. 2:23 remaining in the third. Got a little confusion here. They're going to stop the clock and figure out what's going on.
Yeah, it looks like the referee's in a little bit of a conference here, trying to make something of this foul call. They are bringing it back.
I suppose
we'll be resetting from the original point of the infraction.
I suppose one referee overruled the foul call. Oh, that's a nifty left-handed throw from Wish, who hits Bear, who's got Murray, and that's a goal for Philly. And the backflip from Sean Murray, his trademark.
So 11-9. Now it's a 2-point lead again for the DC Current.
And, you know, when you play like Murray and Katzenbeck too, you're never old. You're a veteran. You're not old. You're a veteran. Both, of course, very athletic players who are not really old by too many standards. Here's Gordon on the sideline. Keegan. Now back to McComb, guarded by Zardo. Now we got Kolick.
Kolick just moves so quickly after he
really does.
throws. An exhausting player to try to have to cover all over the field now.
Keegan with Nick Matheson guarding him. Big guy. Another strategy from the Spinners to get those big guys on DC's key players. Try to limit those break throws, which have been killing them all day. There's McComb to Keegan. Keegan puts it up. Chow gets beat by Kolick. And that's another goal for DC. It seems that both teams have taken a page out of each other's books this week. You know, DC more known for their hucking, high-risk game. Philadelphia known more for their conservative possession control game. And it seems they've both, you know, DC's scaled themselves back to a more controlled offense, and Philadelphia's kind of gone a little more high risk.
Yeah, and I think that a great example, by the way, on that play there of how Kolick is all over the field. He makes a couple throws down here, and then he catches a point 50 yards away.
And Leon Chow is an extremely fast defender, and Kolick just went right by him, it looked like. There's Pana. They've moved the disc up the field quite quickly now. To Mike Bear. And Mark look a little close, now backing away. Finds Trey Katzenbach. Katzenbach finds Wish. Jonah Wish looking around for somebody. And he finds Pana. A little bit of a high throw, but brought down easily by Pana, an excellent player for the Spinners. Oh, puts that in the middle to Mike Bear. Didn't see that one coming. Time running down in this third quarter. 26 seconds remaining. There's a huge D by Ryan Todd. And the second effort by David Bear, not enough.
There we see it again, that late stall count throw. Always going to be riskier. Ryan Todd in perfect position to take advantage.
There's Cranston unguarded. Ryan Marshall looking downfield. 6 seconds. Cranston's going to put it up. One player down there, it's Dan Cantor, and amongst three Spinners, and that's not going to work out for you too many times. We're back for the fourth quarter here in Silver Spring, Maryland, Blazers Stadium. 12-9 your score. Philadelphia Spinners set to pull to DC Current. This is gut check time for Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah, big time. I mean, you're down 3 points, rolling into this game away on a 4-game losing streak. You need to score quickly in this last and final quarter. And for DC, they just need to stay on top of them. If they want to walk away here with a win, stay and keep the hopes in their season alive, the hopes for their postseason, gotta be a big, aggressive approach to the beginning of this quarter.
Here's Kolek, already at the 50-yard line. Up to Wodach. Wodach guarded by Paparone finds, nifty one-handed grab by Bobby Gordon. Matt Gallen on the mark. Up and around to Kevin Moldenhauer back at the 40-yard line. And that's to Rob Dulabon. Dulabon looking, and he puts a dangerous one up. Can Perifico get this one? No, and nobody else is going to get it either. Bobby Gordon with a great bid.
We have a foul call down on the field on Perifico. Looks like a push call. A lot of contact there, and apparently the referees thought a little too much contact.
Similar play to the one down the other end of the field with, I believe it was Thor. And now that's a goal for DC. Keegan converts on the foul call to Alan Kolek. Who else? This is Cranston to pull for DC. Going to be fielded by Trey Katzenbach. Center to Hiernett. Over to Dave Bear. Hanna making a deep cut, now coming under. He's wide open. Nice throw from David Bear. Now to Murray. Murray's been good today, but they've got to get him more involved. Murray up to Panna. Working it efficiently now to Wish. Hiernett's got to get himself open there. There's some crowding. And a hammer from Jonah Wish to Nick Hiernett. But there seems to be a call.
Looks like there was a call on the throw. We're getting the referees here in conference.
Appears to be a marking. Referees in conference. Not quite sure what the call is.
A big throw there from the 18-year-old.
Trey Katzenbach is walking off the field as if they've scored. I think he might know the call better than we might know it.
Or better than the officials know.
Yeah.
We're looking at them walking over, taking a little bit of time to make sure they get this right, which is, it's what you want to see.
My guess is that there may have been a foul on the throw. The way that sort of came off of his hand. And if I know correctly, that would be a yes.
There we go. So we had a foul on the throw, continuation, ends in a goal. A little bit of confusion there, but nice to see the officials taking the time, having the discussion, and getting the call right in the end. Just a nice throw and an important one, trying to bail them out of that sideline. They worked the disc all the way down that sideline, but then managed to stick themselves in the corner there where it's a little bit difficult sometimes to jam it in, and also difficult to get the dump. It gets crowded down there.
And he will be headed to the University of Pittsburgh next year, who have advanced to the final. They beat Oregon today, and they're on their way to the final.
So Pittsburgh, Jonah Wish's soon-to-be college, is playing in the finals at Club Nationals this weekend.
College Nationals.
College Nationals. I apologize.
Here's a foul on Ben Fang, bringing the disc with Kolek up to the 50, and there seems to be a little more confusion on the spot, perhaps. Or another foul.
Yeah, it's 2 quick fouls in succession there from the looks of things. Maybe they figure that's the only way to stop Kolek from doing whatever he wants.
Looks like a foot block from Murray that still hangs up there just enough for Wodach to get there.
Murray, well known for his foot blocks. You see a lot of that quick action between his hands and feet there.
Bid from Lindsay. That's another. He's had quite a few of those almost bids. We get a receiver travel from Kolek. The way he moves his feet, you're not too surprised when you get a couple of those on him. And he is owning Ben Fang right now.
Yeah, what they're looking for in that receiver travel is they're looking for a change of direction on that landing a lot of the time. So it's not even necessarily
up to Calvin
steps.
Ong. And he gets it over Lindsay.
And there he is again, Calvin Ong with a big catch over Lindsay. Yeah, it's been a tough game because the DC team is playing their offense so well. They're going hard to the disc. They're making smart throws. They're getting the throws off early, not getting caught in those high stall count situations. And you're just seeing a very well-run, very efficient DC offense, which is not going to give you as many opportunities for those blocks. In opposition, we've certainly seen Philly get hung up into some deep stall counts, having a little trouble moving the disc, and that's, again, what leads to those opportunities that these DC guys are not going to let slide by.
And time is ticking down on this Philadelphia Spinners team. Today was their chance to climb back into second place in the Eastern Conference, even with the struggles that they've had the last 4 weeks. But if the score holds, they're going to find themselves in a de facto three-way tie for that final playoff spot. Of course, New York played one less game, but that'll put them one ahead in the loss column, I suppose. Here's Wish. DC trying a little bit of a zone, or at least they were. It seems like transitioned to man. Now to Hiranet. He's got Wish and Pana over there. Finds Wish. There's Wish to Pana. Another completion from the youngster. That's Henning, I'm sorry. Low throw to Pana, but he brings it in. Oh, Hiranet with a nifty cut, and there's Markham Schaffner. Haven't called his name a lot today, but he is... You know, that's what you need from big players.
Just a sneaky D read that throw.
And now he's going to put it up, and he's got Cranston. Kurt Henning's not going to get there, and that may be the nail in the coffin. Little early, but 5-goal lead is tough.
5-goal lead is very difficult. It's a deep hole that the DC's just dug for Philly, and a big part of it was that beautiful throw right there.
Here's Trigub to bring it down. You know, we've seen in this league a lot of the teams that are having success have a guy on their... Oh, now Hiranet's going to try one to Katzenbach. Is he going to get there? Oh! And he is going to get there. This is where it's got to start. Katzenbach looking for Murray. Not going to have him. Back to Chow. Chow's going to make... You got to make smart decisions now. The time for taking risks has passed. Here's Bear back to Trigub. Trigub, little lefty throw out to Bear. Bear's got Murray, and that's a goal. Part of I think the thing about Gallen is he's a D player. A lot of those other guys play on those offense, like Chris Mazer, Brandon Malachek, these big throwers who are, you know, they put up a ton of points for their teams. They're on their offensive lines. They're on all the time, and they have a ton of opportunities to score. Nothing against the way that Matt Gallen plays. He's a fantastic player, and that might be a little low.
Well, there's another one of those laser hooks I was talking about, but that one was a little bit off the mark.
There's one you kind of hope it would have hung up a little bit more. Now we see Gallen with the disc. Maybe he'll get his chance. He's got a couple guys going deep, but instead he centers to Bear.
Yeah, he's certainly one of those players when the disc in his hands, people are looking to make that deep
absolutely. Cut. Now there's Paparone. A little bit of a nonchalant one-handed grab there. Now he finds Patrick Lindsay. The refs are calling it up. Oh, one's calling it down. The ref behind Mike Zargum makes the call that it's down, and now we're going to get a little bit of a conference.
We're going to have a little talk about this one here.
The upfield ref believed that Zargum had the disc up. Now they're going to call it down.
Once again, I think the officials here are doing a great job today. Good work from the head official there coming over to check that call out and ensure that they had it right.
Is that a timeout call or?
And it appears we have a little bit of an issue here, and yes,
Coach Bill Maroon.
It looks like Coach Maroon has been banded. I would guess for something that he, some sort of a casual disagreement with the call that was made on the field, perhaps.
You know, that's big from that point in the field. That's 20 yards for Alan Kolick.
Hey, the heat of the moment, giving up 20 yards, hurting your team a little bit by. But sometimes the mouth just can't be closed. Is what happens.
Mike Bear with a great bid on that, but not quite enough. There's McComb. He's going to put it around to Keegan, and nobody's going to get there. And we've seen a lot of those things that we may believe are attempts to fire up this Philadelphia team, and thus far the gap is only growing. And there is just an ill-advised. Oh, it looks like a foul is going to be called. That was an uncharacteristic throw from Mike Panna. Not surprised to see a foul call on that.
It looks like the foul was actually on the
receiver.
reception. There was no one near Panna really at the time. So it looks like the foul was called on Ryan Todd, which he was certainly not pleased about from the looks of things.
Katzenbach rolling around to get that disc. Katzenbach has been very good today. Now here's Bear looking deep. You wonder if it's time to start, maybe the conservative offense. As much as you have to value every possession, there's Murray to Ferrari, and Schaffner just gave up on that, it looked like.
Yeah, I thought he was going to have a play on that disc, but it appeared in the end that he felt like it was just out of his reach. Ferrari goes up strong and
just pulled up, yeah. A lot of times you see a defense have a chance to get a break and then give it up, and an offense goes down and scores, and you think, it's 1 point. But in reality, that's a 2-point swing. Your deficit grows by 1 instead of decreasing by 1. So those breaks, when you have an opportunity to get a break, you really have to take it. We'll see Moldenhauer bring this disc down. A little shaky on the catch, but he seems to be all right. Now to Kolek, who is just putting on a clinic on handler cutting, and it's up to Wodach, and he's he's out the back. The effort, outstanding. The execution, just a bit outside. And we see Patrick Lindsay on the ground again after a great effort for the D.
Wodach seems to be disagreeing with that call of out of bounds. It'll be interesting to see how that shows up on our game tape later.
Well, I'm sure he, with the way that he landed there, I don't know if he even had close to the best look at that.
I doubt that he did. Great second effort, regardless from Wodach there.
Well, it's got to start now. I mean, it's had to have started for a very long time for Philadelphia, but if you're gonna do it, now is the time. You've got to turn. You're taking a timeout. There's not much to say except go get it.
Probably confused many people, but we're gonna let that go.
Bear finding Hiranet. He's got to bring that down. Oh, Bear! Looked like Bear just didn't want to catch that, although the throw may have been a bit off.
Yeah, it looked like the throw was just too much lead. We've seen a couple of those from Hiranet today. Just
there's
not
a hammer
the
up
touch that we expect.
And that's got to be it. You've got to think that may be the deciding play here.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough Boston team, but this is the game that we're playing. You have to be able to step up and play day after day. You have to be able to handle these double headers. It's a tight, short season, and it requires a lot of mental toughness of these players. And Philly's just coming up a little short at the moment in that category. Now they're not out of the thing yet. This isn't the end of their season.
Not by any stretch.
It is. It's certainly more of a setback than they had hoped to be encountering at this point.
At this point, you have to. The records aren't pretty, but today was a chance for them to take a stranglehold on that second place. Not really a stranglehold, but take back a decisive edge on the New York Rumble, and they have instead given the DC Current their life back. And this was a DC team that was very much on the brink, and I think a lot of people had counted them out.
Well, I'd say the way that DC has played today, they've taken their life back.
Absolutely.
Great play from this DC team. Exciting, high-quality work.
And now the Spinners are going to score. It's Kyle Salasco to Leon Chow, I believe. Or is it? Yes, it's Leon Chow. Probably too little too late now for the Spinners. Both of these teams got a break earlier today when New York fell handily to Boston, and that point differential extended for them.
Yeah, Boston seems to be handing out the point differential right now.
Absolutely. They had a little bit of a slow start, some would say, and they won, I should say, 2 close games against New York and this DC team. And since then, they have not missed a beat. They have really just been dynamite. And here's McComb to Keegan. Keegan looking upfield. He's got Wodach unguarded. Somebody needs to be on a guy like Jeff Wodach.
Not a guy to leave alone.
Not at all. There's Bellinger to Kolek on the sideline, guarded by Mike Baer. Finds Wodach, now guarded by Paparone. Floaty flick up to Kevin Moldenauer. Looks like DC's just trying to run this clock out. They're really taking those dumps, although there's a nice, nifty upline throw from Moldenauer. Now to Wodach. Wodach looking behind. Very content right now, DC, is to take those dumps because they know the clock is on their side in terms of, as you were talking about, the point differential. They want to keep this 4-point lead or extend it if they can.
Which is what they're looking to do right now.
They don't want to give Philadelphia back the disc. Kolek is going to put a hammer up to Wodach. Now he's in on that one.
Yeah, I mean, great handlers like Kolek have the ability to throw every throw in their arsenal at any given time without any extra thought, without any extra effort. And he personifies that type of handler very well. You just see the disc come out of his hands from multiple different heights and positions, body angles, and just great movement on the disc, either left to right or right to left. He's all around, just fun to watch.
You can really see the cutter in him sometimes when he's handling back there with how fast he moves in the backfield, and that makes him hard to guard as a handler. When you can cut like a cutter and throw like a handler, you are a dangerous player. And here's Baer up to Murray. Murray chasing.
Oh,
what a grab by Sean Murray!
Oh, fantastic catch
Wow.
by Murray. Baer puts up a beautiful, long throw, and Murray chasing it down. Doesn't look like he's going to get there. Looks like it might go out of the back. Big layout, big catch. It's late in the game, but that's still a beautiful play.
You know, if you can take a bright spot for Philadelphia out of this game, it's been David Baer and Sean Murray. DC showing just how good they can be when they're on. They're a very dangerous team.
Yeah, I think that the team we've seen tonight is the DC team that we've been looking for, from the beginning of this year. We've seen hints of it, even in their win up in Philly. It was a pretty tight game. We saw some of that, but this is the flash and the talent that we expected out of these highly athletic guys on the DC side.
This is a DC team, by the way, that is missing Tom Doy tonight. Looks like he's injured. A key cutter for them, and also a team that's potentially at some point this season going to get Nate Castine back from injury.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a dangerous player. Nate Castine pulled a hamstring actually trying out for this DC team. Still made it easily. He's a fantastic player.
Clock winding down here, and there's a D from Perifico, who is fired up about something back there. Seems like they're calling,
looks like
calling
they
a foul on him.
Foul on him. He's
not the time to be excited about this.
Getting shepherded off
Yeah.
by one of his players. Just calm him down.
Perifico's already collected a ban this year. He does not need to get another one.
Exactly. As we all know, if you manage to collect 3 bans during the course of the regular season, you're suspended for the following game. And now we're seeing 10 seconds go back on the clock. Anytime that there is a call in the last minute of the game or the last 10 seconds of the game, it goes back to 10 seconds.
Now a team can reject that and just take the time, but now you're seeing point differential.
That's what I'm saying. DC's going to want to walk out of here with one more point in their pocket, and we'll see what they can put together to get that.
A little bit of a conference. They're going to call a timeout. It looks like, I think that's McComb signaling he wants a timeout.
Yeah, this is interesting because you can tell that this DC side has been talking about the way that they're going to work their way back into the season. Most of the time you'd see players at this point in the game, they would just throw the disc and not worry that much about it. They're already won the game. They're already ahead. But that in their locker room, they were talking about what they need to win this season, and a lot of that has to do with these points.
Now you go back to the drawing board if you're the Spinners, and there's Perifico showing he knows the situation too. That point could make a difference, and Zargham's not going to be able to get anything off. The clock is expired, but Ben Fang throws it up. We've got a
little bit of pushing and
tussle
fighting by
from Perifico and Keegan. Not too happy with each other right now. Both teams sort of signaling that they want flagrant fouls called and bans assessed. Perifico can't afford another one of those, and Keegan certainly doesn't want one.
A little action going on here after the end of the game here from Parifico. Still probably upset from that call earlier. And just getting his teammates gathering around him, trying to settle him down.
It looks like Keegan has indeed been handed a band. There's, that's a situation where they may not understand, or they certainly understand the situation, but maybe emotions getting the better of them. That band could come back to haunt this DC team, just like the point differential could have come back to help them.
Exactly. Ill-afforded mistakes there at the end of the game, just emotionally, but a great played game by both these teams, and a great night out here for Ultimate.
And we're going to wrap this one up here from DC. Once again, for my colleague Nick Darling, this is Greg Fallon signing off from Blazer Stadium in Silver Spring, Maryland. Your final score, DC Current 18, Philadelphia Spinners 14. This Eastern Conference race just got very exciting.